Have you ever heard of a term perpetually dangerous in reference to education? Well, I hadn't. But the U.S. Department of Education under the Trump administration just recently released a memo that I find really interesting. So the Department of Education, and I'm reading from the memo right now, states that they issued a letter to all chief state school officers providing guidance on the Unsafe School Choice Option provision. According to this memo, Section 8532 of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, as amended by the Every Student Succeed Act, which is ESEA, requires each state to establish and implement a policy designed to ensure that students in, quote, persistently dangerous schools are provided with an opportunity to attend a safe public elementary or secondary school, including a public charter school. So here's the data. For the year 2023 to 2024, only five states identified persistently dangerous schools, with one state, Arkansas, accounting for 15 of the 25 persistently dangerous schools. Now, I live in Wisconsin, and I can tell you there are a lot of persistently dangerous schools in my state, particularly in Milwaukee, the MPS, the Milwaukee Public School System. I can guarantee you that we have several schools that would fall under the persistently dangerous guidelines. Yet there's no reporting for that. Our state superintendent hasn't submitted any claims to the U.S. Department of Education. Well, I find that suspicious right off the bat. So I guess in earlier years, states reported an even lower number than that. In 2022 to 2023, only 4 schools were reported as persistently dangerous nationwide. 4 schools. We have 4 schools at least in Wisconsin that are persistently dangerous, meaning that kids are faced with physical violence every day, and staff as well. There are at least 4 schools just in Wisconsin in which that is the case, and I can imagine that's the same all throughout the country. So only 4 schools, and then in 2021 and 2022, no schools, none. 0 schools were reported as persistently dangerous. Now, that was COVID, and various schools weren't open, as we all know, but still. So the Department of Education they're issuing guidance, giving states an opportunity to improve school safety and expand school choice. The Trump administration is encouraging states to build on the work they have done to maximize parent options. I like that. For choosing the safest school for their children. Imagine giving parents a choice. I know parents in Milwaukee sure would like the ability to get their kids out of these persistently dangerous schools. In new guidance, the Department of Education reminds states of the 3 obligations that they have. 1, to create a definition for persistently dangerous schools. 2, to identify schools according to that definition of persistently dangerous. And 3, to provide public school choice to students who attend persistently dangerous schools or students who were victims of a crime on campus. I mean, on that note, there are students that are victims of crimes all over the state of Wisconsin. And again, I know this is true all over the country. So imagine if your child was the victim of bullying and harassment, and was the victim of a crime, that you would have the option to send your child to another public school or a charter school of your choice. I think that's a great option. The department's guidance is also novel because it highlights that states are free to define persistently dangerous however they see fit. So the federal government is opening the door for states. Again, because the Trump administration wants power to go back to the states, less power in the federal government and more power in state and local government. So the states get to define what persistently dangerous is. And this gives states the opportunity to include more expansive criteria, including whether schools have a SRO. I mean, that there are a lot of schools in areas that are not safe for kids, in schools that are not safe for kids and for staff, where there are activists who oppose security resource officers. They would rather use that money to have a touchy-feely professional development in which they call all white people racist and all black and brown people victims. That's what they'd much rather prefer. They'd rather spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars on actually racist professional development rooted in critical race theory than they would in solving some serious issues in K through 12, okay? Because I'm hearing more and more teachers and parents tell me that even in elementary schools, there's violence. There's violence against staff, children getting in fights, abuse, even sexual abuse. There's kids being abused by other kids in middle schools. So this guidance could not come at a better time. Again, so states have the opportunity to include more expansive criteria. And they get to say that if a school doesn't have a school resource officer, perhaps that school is persistently dangerous. Another novel option and a new option is a school can be deemed persistently dangerous if it is not performing academically. So if the school is well below, if the reading proficiency is well below average, if, for example, again in Milwaukee, if only 4% of Black students in 4th grade are reading at a proficient level, I would call that persistently dangerous, wouldn't you? So the Trump-McMahon Department of Education is committed to ensuring all children can attend a safe school, safe physically and also safe in the sense that that child is going to actually be in a learning environment and receiving education and not just, sitting in some kind of daycare center. Because if a child is in 4th grade and can't read, what have they been doing all these years, all day long? It's not right. Again, so they want to make sure that the Trump administration and Linda McMahon, the Secretary of Education, wants to be sure that American children are in safe schools, they are in safe learning environments, and they're actually learning what they need, the skills that they are going to need to not just survive, but to thrive. And to go, if they choose, go to college, if they choose a trade, whatever it is, they get to choose. It's not chosen for them because they didn't have the necessary skills to do what they would want to do. I'm Scarlett Johnson, and I'm with Moms for Liberty, and we are thrilled with this guidance. We think it is just another tool for parents to have in their toolbox as they navigate finding a good school for their kids and ensuring that all children in America receive the quality education that we pay for and that they deserve. Thank you.